Hope everyone can share and see my screen. Yes? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I would request all the participants to mute. And 1 second. So as we go, I will take the questions last and keep a pen and paper ready with you, as we have planned the session to be as much as interactive. I mean, to take with some tips for you so that you take notes and you involve, you understand as much as possible. So for the next 1 hour, we'll be going on this topic. To give a small introduction about me, I am Harini Ramaratnam, founder of Viva Education Services Corp, a training and a coaching consultancy. I work with students, parents, teachers, and entrepreneurs. And I do counseling sessions, exam preparatory sessions, memory programs, all various topics that you're seeing on the screen. I also work with individuals on positive thinking challenge, success design program. Those are my group programs. I also do a positive thinking teen challenge 21 days program, which is where for 21 days you would be taken through everyday program, everyday WhatsApp activities and master classes once a week. So these are various programs, and so I am a mentor across globe, and I work with a lot of people. I'm also a member of executive member of NFED. Not much, not going to talk more about me. Switching on to my what I am is I am a certified international trainer and a memory skill trainer. One of the memory skill trainer. I am from Bangalore. I hope many are joining from Bangalore also. And so what? So we recently my company is internationally accredited, and these are my awards. So the reason to show today so much about me, to talk about me, is I had a lot of anxieties. I was not a great student in the school. Like I'm a mediocre, scoring some 60, 70%. I've never been a top person in this class, but I understood certain techniques and skills, and I started applying. I got 90% in 12th, and took math. I was failing in math in my school days, so maybe before 9th, and but I understood math. I overcame the anxiety and stress which I had with the math, and I understood it with the help of my mentors and tuition teachers and got through it. And I took my BSc math in college, and I scored again 90% in that and did my MC and so on. And completely, I am into training you students. Most of the time, I work with students and teachers and educators and entrepreneurs. The reason is I have understood what it is, and applied certain techniques and overcame certain things, and strived to success what I wanted. So I'm going to talk about all this today. We are going to see some, I won't say not in detail and not in a brief, but as best I could enlighten you on this topic: stress. What are stresses? What are the causes of academic stress? What is the symptoms you can identify? Am I really stressed or not? And managing your stress. And then we will move on to anxiety, various types of anxiety, to understand uh, what it is actually. Okay, so that you don't catastrophize things. At the same time, you also become aware of and manage it. And so now we will start with an activity. Okay, all of you take a pen, draw a pig in a piece of note or a paper which you have. Draw a pig. Okay, that's the first activity we are starting with. I want all of you to draw the pig, and you can show on the screen, or you can just share in the chat box if you wish. Take a photo, or if you don't want, you don't need to share. I respect everybody's privacy here. We are all grown up adults. You're no longer teens, okay? So I respect your privacy. If you don't want to show anything, just draw, but participate in the activity. Take whatever you can. If you participate, you can understand better. Okay, so yeah, I am going to keep my chat box on. So I want a yes from everyone once you have done. So So I want the chat box to keep going. Talk with me. You don't please mute yourself. The last you'll take questions. But once you have completed the pig, put a yes in the chat so that I'll take it ahead. Okay. There are 17 participants currently. So at least I'll look for at least 10 yes so that I'll move on. After you have drawn a pig. Yes. Just draw a simple pig. I'll tell you what it is. So how many of you are excited to know why this pig, drawing a pig? Yes, if yes, excited to know, put I in the chat box. I want to know. I, those who are eager to know why I asked you to draw a pig, coming to a stress and anxiety session and asking you to draw a pig. Okay. I'm expecting more responses in the chat box. People are busy drawing the pig, I think. Okay. So, have you all completed the pig? Can I move on? Yes. Can I move on? Yes, in the chat box. Yes. Yes. More answers I'm waiting for. You have to participate. Yes, that's a zeal. So the pig, this is going to tell about your personality. Now, if you have drawn the pig, big pig, then it means you feel yourself as an important person. If you have drawn it little, then you have to work on your self-esteem. Work on your self-esteem. If you have drawn the pig in the top of the page, suppose if you have drawn the pig here, then it means you are an optimistic person. If you have drawn in the middle, then you are a realistic person. Yes, it's there, I accept, but I am real. This is something you act according to the situation. If you have drawn down, yeah. So what is the pig facing you? If the pig is facing you, then you're a straightforward person. Okay, you talk transparently. If it's the pig is facing left and you feel you're more of a logical person, if the pig is right, I would say more of a creative person. Okay, you're innovative, creative, all that. Now, if you have drawn a pig with a lot of small eyes here, wrinkles and that, then it means you're very, very attention to detail person. If you have just drawn an outline of a pig, then you're a casual guys. You're all casual guys. How many of you have drawn the pig with 2 legs? Say yes. If you've drawn the pig with 2 legs, so it means you have to work on your insecurities. Okay. It is not just understanding that where I am, how I am. Okay. Just this is not 100% true, but you understand there are some areas you need to focus on a little bit. Okay. If you've drawn all the 4 legs, then you're secure. You're also sometimes stubborn. Okay. And the ears, the more bigger ears if you have drawn, you are a very listening guy. If your ears are small, then you have shut down your ears to listen to the parents. You have completely shut it down. That's what it means. I don't want to hear from my parents. Closed. So if you have forgot that ear, then that's the true fact. So the length of the tail indicates the quality of your love in your life, like how much you feel that you're loved or how much you have love for others. Do you all like this activity? Give me a thumbs up or give me I like in the chat box or say like in the chat box, then I will move on. Do you all like this? Now, yes, thank you, dears, thank you. Now draw a mouse. Now draw a mouse. Now everybody will get panic, anxiety, like, okay, what she's going to tell after seeing my mouse. Draw a mouse now. Once you've drawn a mouse, say yes in the chat box. Say yes, done. Okay, you can say done in the chat box. Done in the chat box if you've drawn a mouse. Okay, done? Yeah, we have to move on. It's almost 7:20. Come on, make it faster, dears. Done. Okay. Now tell me, guys, honestly, how many of you drawn computer mouse? How many of you did draw the computer mouse? I didn't say anything. How many of you draw the real animal mouse? How many of you have drawn the computer mouse? If you have drawn the computer mouse, say yes, I am. How many of you have drawn the computer mouse? Anyone there? Oh, wow, smile, wow. Okay. Yeah, Niklesh. Oh, wow. Oh, many have drawn computer mouse. Then, is that true? Okay, two I'm seeing as of now currently. So this is called, you guys are creative thinkers. You think out of the box. Okay, this is nothing to do, just to connect with your creative thinking. Okay, so we'll move on to the topic. So stress is a response to a real or imagined threat or an event or a change. See, why I say imagine is our mind doesn't know the reality between what is real and what is imaginary. See, that is why you're watching movies sometimes, and still you, when you watch a thriller movie or a ghost movie or no, this kind of psychology horror movies, you get that fear, you get that stress, you are still worried, you are still anxiety, but still you want to watch the movies because you know you are safe, but the reaction keeps happening inside your body. So it is not real. You're just seeing a movie, but still the body will react to it. So that is why it is says an imagined threat. Sometimes the whatever you're stressed for certain reasons, that maybe I will fail or I will not score good marks, may not be true, may not be true. It is just your imagination. You might be scoring a good mark, you will also score good mark in the end, just because the school score doesn't I mean the teachers, what the teachers put you on scoreboard, they always try to put you less marks just to boost your confidence so that you start reading more, start doing more. That might be their strategy. But once you see that, you perceive that you're not a great student, you think that you're not a good student, or you might not do good in your boards, and you will start getting stress. Okay, so what are the stressors? So what are the types of stressors? So the stressors usually happen when you get an injury, like if you get a fracture or a hurt, or someone pushed you down, you got hurt, literally between fights or by accidents. Like that creates a lot of stress in your body. This is the physical stress which affects your mental health also. And illness, if you're sick, especially this time, the pandemic, the fear of virus, that creates a lot of stress. And emotional stress, like what is it, the fight happening at home, that makes you feel emotional between the parents, or something happening to your parents or your siblings or your grandmothers or your loved ones. So that's might be a reason. Sometimes when you feel emotional for your loved one, okay, when you feel emotional for that also makes you stressed and emotional. And physical stress, like if you do workout, running, that also gives some stress to the body. And environmental stress, how many of you have noticed, if it's like a winter, if it is very cloudy, if it's rainy, you like the climate, but still you feel depressed and bored, and like, I want to sleep always, I don't want to do any work, it makes you a little down. How many of you have felt that? On a bright sunny day, you feel little energetic, always good energetic. On a gloomy day, you feel, especially people, those who are in the Western countries during the snow times or during the peak winters, they suffer a lot from this stress. How many of you agree with me? The climate also affects you to some extent. How many of you are aware that climate will affect? Say yes. If you say the climate will affect. And career pressure, like now you will also have an academic pressure. uh, Sometimes the career pressure also puts you to stress. Different types of stress, if you see. So as I said, First, your thoughts, that's more important. Whatever thoughts, the thoughts in terms of fear, any fear or worry or guilt or anger, all this will give you stress. Okay. And social stressors is like you see a mobile, like you're on Instagram, you're on some social media, you see someone doing something and you feel I'm not good enough. Or a friend will share in a WhatsApp group like I will have completed this chapter, I finished all for tomorrow's exam, only one more chapter remaining. That's the update he gives, and that creates a stress for you. And when you're in the social group, you teens, majority, the teen from the age of 12 to 12, not even 12, I would say. So, okay, 10 we can keep, like 9 or 10 to 17 or 18 until they come from the teen to the adult stage. They have a lot of role ambiguity and role confusion. Okay, what is happening to my body? Suddenly I'm getting slight mustaches. My women undergo, girls undergo a lot of bodily changes. They are confused with what is happening to me. I am not, and you start seeking for peer approval. So suddenly your boys in the class, I mean your peers, your friends starts making fun of you. Hey, you got mustache, man. You got this, man. You got that, man. And your voice changes. It's a squeezy voice, like it's not a girl, it's not a boy, it's in the middle, it's not a teen, it's not an adult, it's in the middle. It's like it's so weird to see yourself in the mirror every day. And thus also the stresses which you are undergoing physiologically, which affects your psychological. And also when you see your friends, their changes might be a little slow, or so you might be growing fast. That puts a lot of stresses in as a teen, to the teen. I'm talking of the teen pressures. And environmental stresses, like now currently pandemic, it's a stress for every one of us. Okay, then types of stress. If you go to types of stress, there are two types of stress: good stress and bad stress. Good stress is like tomorrow you have a math exam or an history exam. You really know you are not good at it, and somewhere you keep studying to the best you can, and you pass it out and you do it the best and you come out. So that stress comes in you to trigger that the confidence in the subject you have, that I'm not good at math, I have to prepare more to give my best. So that's a good stress. Okay. Whereas there are some stress which you're going to see which has a negative effects, like the stress is most of the time it is overwhelming on you, and it will not help you to take an action. At the same time it will make you feel tired and you lose interest. So suppose if you have a fear of your subjects, certain subjects, and if you pick up the notes and start studying, put your effort and finish it off, that stress is good, because that is helping you not to fail or to score more marks. Okay, whereas certain other stress which comes from various other reasons are the only things you need to look for. So eustress is called like good stress, distress is the bad stress. You can see on the screen what is the difference between them. So this kind of good stress stays only for one day. Suppose tomorrow if you have an exam, that one day stress, which will not, after that you will feel normal. So that's a very good stress, temporary. Whereas the distress or the negative stress, it goes for a long time. It shows effect on your body. You will don't get sleep, you don't eat well, a lot of other discomfort starts happening, which we will go to see in detail in the next slides. And that's bad. So you have to understand. So are you all clear till here? Can I move on? I want yes from the students. Night 7:30 you can't sleep. I know you guys will be playing PUBG till night 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and other games. So you can't sleep 1 hour. Just yes. Only 3 guys are responding to me. What about others? There are 16 people. Are you all there? Now write down what are your stress now. After you understood some kind of stress, this and that, now I want you to list at least 5 to 6 stress that you are currently having in your life at this point of time. It can be academic stress, it can be personal family stress, It can be some, as I said, the teen roles ambiguity stress, like the identity stress. Maybe you're not happy with the way your face is looking on the mirror, the mustache coming out, and suddenly something is growing up in your body. You feel very awkward and bit different with yourself. You're not able to accept it completely. That is a stress which is bothering you in your mind. So, what are those? Hello, Sandana Krishnan sir. Nice to see you here. Hi, guys. Thank you for switching on your cameras. Hope you like the session. So, please keep mute yourself and write down the stress and say, yes, I've done. List it down. The once you list down the stress only, then only you will understand what stress do you actually have, and then you can work on it. Once you've all listed down, say done. Then I will move on to the next slide. But dears, please make it quick and fast. How many are all actually participating with the activities here? Raise your hand. I can see raised hand in this chat box. So you can just show your emojis there. Raise your hand if you're just writing out the activities. I mean, participating in the activities. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm expecting more participation. I'm not going to ask you to switch on your video, show your face, talk to the people. I'm not going to put you to the discomfort. I respect all your privacy, but you can just be there without showing your face, but still you can participate. I'm moving on. So what are the common cause of stress? Now you have listed down your stress. Now you have to identify what is that cause, that stress. It's a physical health. Say, if you're not well, if there's something physically happening in your body, then that will cause the stress. And if there is an issues in home in terms of fights between the parents, and sometimes sometimes financial stress that the parent talks about, or your grandfathers or grandmothers or anybody in their home falling sick, not well, hospital visits, surviving from a disease. So that one will create a stress in you. And death, any deaths of the relatives, that will cause a stress. And sometimes continuous long sibling fights, like if you keep on fighting with your brother or sister, if they keep on irritating and hurting you, then that might also trigger at some point. Occupational stress is like work stress. For you, it will be academic stress. Okay. Then finance burden for you, some parents will say, I'm spending so much on you. You have to earn the money. I don't know what will you do. You have to study. You have to repay the loan. So this kind of pressures is put on you either by your parents, or you also think. See, I came across a child who spoke to me recently. She was suffering from anxiety. So when I spoke to her, she said, I am doing my doctor in this particular place, but I don't like the study now. I don't like the place now. I want to go back home. But the parents have spent a huge amount paying the fees for me, so I can't go back. And that financial burden is creating a stress for her. Do you all agree with me? Yes. Now you can see on the screen what are the causes of academic stress. Can all see on the screen. You have to understand this causes academic stress. So the language barrier, suppose if you are in a language, if you don't know how to speak English, if you're coming from your native, then that might trigger. Expectation from your parents, from your neighbors, from your relatives will trigger. Culture, suppose people, those who are moved from US to here this kind of education culture is different. So that will trigger stress. Same way, if you move from here to the abroad, sometimes that also triggers illness. Discrimination, the color, they say you're black, you're short, you're fat, you're tall, etc., etc., etc. Those kind of bullies will also. And teaching methods and multiple assignments where you feel a lot of overwhelming compared from certain schools and certain syllabus, which triggers a stress in someone, not everyone. So people undergo different stress in different people. So cause of academic stress, this what. So any doubt here, please note it down. I will answer last. If you have any doubt in any of the slides, people please note it down, take a note. I will address it last. Now, now what you have seen, cause, what is the cause of the stress? Okay. Now moving on, what is the sign and symptom? You feel moody, you feel irritated, you feel angry, a lot of anger in you. Don't You are not able to relax. If you lie on bed, you don't get sleep. So these are the ways you will feel anxiety and stress in yourself. Okay, these are the ways. Sense of loneliness, like you start feeling nobody is there for me in the world, no one likes me, no one wants to be friend with me. This, and generally it moves on to depression and general unhappiness overall, when so much of emotions keep playing inside your mind. And understand one thing, if there is aches and pains, see, if you have played, if you got hurt, if you got aches, that is different. So if just you're sitting inside home, if you get a lot of aches and pains, then you have to check whether it's on the stress factor, or I am depriving on multivitamins. Like if you're low on vitamin D, that will trigger your stress level, also trigger your pain in the body. So have a lot of vitamin D, because we are all sitting at home now, not exposing much outside. So we will see what are the supplements. Next slides we will see. But understand, on the day of exam, if your stomach goes for a toss, if you are having diarrhea, if you're having constipation, if you're feeling like vomiting, nausea, all this nausea feeling, dizziness, this all comes from the state of anxiety and stress, and depends on the stress levels and the anxiety levels. This can vary. It would also go to chest pain and panic attacks. Panic attacks, like you will feel hands become cold and all. I'll explain anxiety and panic attacks in the next few slides. And if you keep getting a lot of colds, so basically you have to understand this all symptom of stress. But it is not always. You have to understand that also. What is the recurrence of all these things happening in you? Once a while is okay. If you are suffering this from daily, then you have to understand that. So how to manage all this? Are you all in pace with me, students? Those who are there, are you all in pace with me? Yes? Give me yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So then you have to understand relaxing neck, get a massage for elders, or you have to do exercises. Regular exercises is must to manage your stress levels. The more you work out, walking, running, whatever gym exercises or any exercises is must for you at this age. And sleep. If you are going to be on a mobile till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, within 1 year your memory will go down, you will not able to concentrate on the exams, you will lose focus. So never compromise on sleep. 7 hours minimum. I want to tell you here, guys, I have a blog called Successful Students and Stress-Free Parents. Okay, where I have interviewed students of grade 10 and 12 in the last 2-3 years and shared their interview secrets for topping in the school. Some of them are toppers, some of them are state level toppers, all that. You know, those have scored about 85. When I see them, their patterns, and when they answer the questions, when I analyze the reports, what I could find out is every one of them having exercise routine. Every one of them had 7 hours of sleep. Every one of them had a very good self-control of managing their mobile, that they are not lost in that. And every one of them had some hobby or other, like painting, drawing, uh, musical instruments, music. So I understood one thing is you need to balance better. And they have all said that we never compromise on sleep. 7 hours, we make sure we sleep every day. How much ever difficult exams, whatever it is, we go to bed on time, we wake up on time, and then study. So that's their secret they've shared. So I want you guys, this is the blog name I've given. I will also share the link in the WhatsApp group. You can go and read the blog about the children's interview, which I have covered there. Okay, it's exclusively for the children who have been great, who have passed with super success in grade 10 and 12. Okay, so cognitive stress management. See, the physical stress is happening sometimes. What you say, how you can manage your physically, like taking bath, sleeping well, having proper food. When you have to manage your thoughts, this thoughts is the main reason for the stress. So, how to control your thoughts? Okay, take a paper, write out all your problems. Suppose if your father is scolding you, is it's very irritating. You want to shout at back to him, but you can't. Take a paper, write out, you idiot father, you stupid father, you how dare you tell me, you monkey, you donkey, you blah 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 blah. Then tear the paper, flush, you will feel wonderful and relaxed. You can do it with anyone in the world, even your teacher, you and your principals, whoever you had a bad day with. Okay, it will relax your mind, and this is a very safe way of overcoming your stress, because if you keep that stress and anger, you will become aggressive, you will start fighting with your parents, you start fighting with your teachers, or you feel that's where sometimes the children go aggressive, hitting others. So to control your thoughts, to overcome the stress, take a paper, write. I know you guys are very smart. 4 letter bad word, 3 letter bad word, 5 letter bad word, everything you know. Put all the bad words, throw it off, tear it off, flush it. How many of you like this technique? Say, I'm going to follow, say I. How many of you going to like this technique, going to follow this when you're stressed, when you're angry with your father, when you're really irritated with your mother who keeps nagging at the back? Study, 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 study. You mothers, shut up, stupid, please go away. Write it in the paper, tear it, then you do the work. How many of you are going to do? Say I. Only Niklesh. Nobody wants to try this method? Okay. With your friends or with your teachers, with anybody, when your mind is irritated. Okay. See, what we actually do, children, is we have taught that we should always respect parents. And when we want to respect parents, the emotions which we have inside, we are not actually showing it out correctly. And that emotions, that anger or the frustration that the parents is not understanding me, it keeps pending up inside, and one day it will burst out. Instead of that, it is okay to safely release rather than hurting the person. Okay, just you can safely release. Nobody will know. Or go to a room, lock the room, take a pillow, think of the person, keep hitting it. You all do it, no? Keep hitting your teacher, your friend, whoever had made a bad day. Just hit 10 times and then come out. You will feel wonderful, I say. Okay? Fantasize or imaginary is that imagining that a positive thing and good will happen, or just lost in your dream world. Okay? I'm not going to explain much of others, it's all self explanatory. Now, read this. I want all of you to read the color, the words there. Yellow, just read, okay? Just read. Yellow, blue, orange. Okay? Now, don't read the word, read the color there. Read the color there. Don't read the word, read the colors. So, green, red, blue, yellow. Try to read the colors now. How many of you feeling it difficult to do? How many of you feeling it difficult to read? Identify the color behind the word. So what this kind of exercise, what it does to you is, you see a problem as a problem. Instead of that, change your perception. So when you saw on the screen, you started seeing yellow, blue, orange. But when I say to you all, read the colors. Okay, that's okay. That's okay, Niklesh. So when you see the colors, when I ask you to read the colors in that, then it becomes little difficult, which we have not been trained to, because our brain has been easily, the moment we see the word yellow, then blue, it has been already trained by the brain to pick up the words, because these are all familiar words. That's how we have trained to. When you see a word, you read the word, but we are not trained to see the colors of the words. So that's where you need to think little different. So when you want to become spiritual, see, I'm not going to take you to Nyan sessions and all. Don't become a priest and all, but just as if you can meditate or close your eyes and sit with you. Ask yourself, like, where I am doing the mistake, what is I'm not able to get better at, what is that I need to focus more on. This all the things you need to take care of. You can even think on those areas. Okay, like, so praying is a wonderful technique to reduce your anxiety, especially praying continuous mantras. Some japa mantras will reduce. It has been found scientifically that if you continuously pray over a certain mantra of whatever of your choice, if you believe in God, then do that. Otherwise, if you are not like that, just sit and close your eyes and relax. If you're still not that kind of a person, then, like, my mind is always jumping like a monkey, like I can't sit idle for a second, I'll go mad. Take a paper and write out whatever is in your mind. That will also calm down your mind. Okay, now socially. Okay, can I move on? Say yes, yes. Silent participants say yes, yes. I will move on. Yes, yes, yes. It is 7:45. Another 30 minutes or 45 minutes to go. Say yes to me. Yes. Yes, two yes. I want more yes. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, come on. I'm not moving to the next slide until I get at least 3 more yeses. Silent participants, just type yes. Yes. Only 3. 3 more. 3 more I want. I want my boost from you so that I can. Wow, everybody's sleeping. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, and then I will sleep. If you are not responding, I'll doze off now. Okay, so social stress management. So what you have to do is prioritize daily tasks and goals. That is more important to be successful in life. If you want to be super successful, then write down your goals. I also do a goal setting session where I train you how to write proper goals, how to put it on the whatever you've seen me in terms of my success or awards, all that I've written down. In fact, I've written down last October, I want to win International Trainer Award. 2020, I've written down, I want Best Trainer Award. I got it in December. Within 2 months, I got. The secret is write down the goals and then put it on your board. That's a simple secret. Then social service, do a lot of social service. Like go to join one club, join one no Rotary club or something. Do some social service or go on the road, go to orphanage, see how people are there, help them once a while. That will really help you to calm down. If you're so much stressed, do all this. Okay, and build up your interpersonal communication skills by like some taking up some courses on that if you want, or work on your interpersonal skills. Okay, and keep some hobbies. And party time, you meet up with friends, have a movie time. And social gathering, that is where you need to manage your stress. When someone puts something on social media, it doesn't mean that the person is actually really happy. He might be hiding it. Actually, his parents might be very abusive. He might beat them, but he would put, okay, I'm eating his ice cream with my parents. I'm at the pizza corner. So we start thinking our parents are not as much as understanding or not doing so much for us. And then we start finding complaints and then we start cribbing with them. But maybe their parents may be a little aggressive. We don't know. So don't judge anything. Seeing the social media, maybe you think, oh, he has got all many things. I didn't get anything. What you see on the social media is not real. You don't know what the person is actually undergoing. So never ever compare your life with other person life. And especially seeing the social media, don't compare, please. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself in terms of stress. Okay. So learn how to say no. Suppose if your friend is coming and asking something, come, let's go for a movie today, or let's go for this thing, and you have something important to complete it. Say you have to learn, sorry, we will go next week. Just today I have a work, I have to complete it. At the same time, in the future also, if someone comes and gives some work, sorry, I can't do this. Just because your friend or something, you need not keep on accepting things. You have to say no somewhere if you feel you're not okay there. Okay? You can say that it is okay to say no. Avoid hot button topics. You know what topic will trigger you. So avoid that. Tell to the person that it is hurting. I don't want to discuss on these topics. And take control of the environment. If you better you move out from the space. Don't fight or argue. Say some reason like I'm going home, I'm feeling tired, I want to go back. Like just move away from the environment as immediately as possible. Now, once you understand these are some basic stress, if the stress keeps perceived for a long time or if the stress is too much, then it gets into anxiety. The anxiety is it's like it's the next step of stress leads to anxiety, and then from anxiety it leads to depression. So this is what the cycle usually is. So the stress, continuous stress for some days or weeks or months, then you will start getting your anxiousness. Okay, so it's a fear or flight. Like when you say what this anxiety, see, in olden days our brain has been built like we have been in the caves, like no old people I'm telling. So how the brain has been built like, they will be living in a cave. The lion might come, the animals might come to, when they see the animal to protect their life. I'm talking about the old age old years, like Adam Eve, those types. So what happens when you see the lion? So it's a stress for your life. So you will either fight with the lion to save the family, or you run away from that. So that is how the brain has been developed. But today we are all in closed, safe home. The lion is not going to come and attack you, or not even the elephant going on the road, or not some animal, even a snake. But the brain still have not evolved from that. It is still acting the same way it is used to act years before, thousands of years before. So the moment we perceive a stress, the brain thinks it is similarly like a situation with, no, even witnessing a lion in front of you. That's the same reaction is happening inside your brain when you are in the moments of anxiety. That is why you either run away, feel like from the situation, or you want to fight with the situation. Sometimes if it's a trauma, if you see an accident or if you see some drastic events, you just go for a freeze mode. Yeah, it happens. No, you just freeze. So it's either a freeze, flight, or fight. These are the three reactions when you see anxiety, when you become anxiety. Okay, when you become anxious, I would say. So these are the difference. So many students stop saying one thing. Children, I would love to say this, stop saying, I am stressed, I am depressed. Those are not fancy words. Please stop using that. Yeah, you will get stressed, but never say I'm depressed. Depressed is something you can't even get from the bed. You can't even face anyone. You don't want to eat anything. You don't want to uh, no do anything. You're not at all motivated. Don't want to play. Don't want to see anyone. That's the case of depression. You will feel like why the day is blooming, why the day is starting. That's the extreme case. I mean, that's the starting phase, but the extreme is like you never come out of a blanket. You don't want to see even a light in your room. That's depression. So never keep saying, oh, I'm depressed, guys, I'm depressed. That's a fancy word you guys are using in the chat box, but the words have power. If you want to know how the words have power, give me a thumbs up, everyone. I will explain you at the last how the words have power. I will explain you with a simple example. Your words have power, but just give me thumbs up. The more number of thumbs up, I'm going to give you the explanation. Otherwise, I'm not going to say. Okay, so you have to understand the anxiety is going to be only for some time. The anxiety keeps going, then that is the disorder. Like it stays with you for every day. Every day you're anxious, every day you're trembling, every day you feel very you are not able to control things, and you start pain, a lot of body aches, muscle aches. Now I want you to see this on the screen. This is all the ways your anxiety shows up. So this happens for some people one day or other. But if it's going to happen for a long time, then you have an anxiety disorder. If it happens for one day, it's just that day anxiety. So go through the screen, understand that. If you have stomach aches and cramps on the day of math exam, then you're very much anxious about your math. Okay, when you want to control someone, very, what I would say, horribly, like it's an impulsive control that you want to control someone, then you are somewhere anxious about controlling others. And your parents, how many of you parents does this? Like they keep on controlling you. Don't do this, don't go there, don't sit this, keep study. Why are you watching? Why are you doing in this laptop? What are you playing? What are you doing? They keep controlling you 24/7 because they are anxious about your board marks. They're anxious about your career. They're anxious about your life. So how many parents keep controlling you, asking you continuous questions from morning, day, doing that, what you called helicopter parenting? I know some of you might be smiling there, sitting by the parent next to you and still don't know what to say. So the parents, the children who undergo the helicopter parenting. Okay, I'm moving on to the next slide. So how the anxiety shows is, this is all the symptoms you will have in your body. You will have these bodily symptoms. Chills, hands and feet becoming cold, especially on the math, geography exams, history exams. For some of you, it is chemistry and physics. So different ways your body starts reacting, and difficulty to breathe. So these are the things you have to understand. Anxiety is coming up, but don't give label. If all this I have, I'm having anxiety. Anxiety is very normal, like an emotion. How you're happy, how you're sad, how you're angry. Anxiety is another emotion. Okay. If it is going to be continuous, then every day happening, then you have to think. Whenever exam happens, if it's going to come, whenever exam happens, you're going blank, you're too much stressed out, then you have to seek help. Otherwise, it is normal. It's okay. If it's just there for the day, then it goes off, it's fine. Then behavior. This is what a person with an anxiety, extreme stress starts behaving. He will withdraw from social. He will not go out. He will not meet his friends. He will don't want to do anything. Just lost and don't want to meet any particular people or do some purposeless activities like what to say, just playing or just whiling away the time. Nothing, no purpose. Okay, just washing the same things or doing something again and again. So that also some reasons. And no, not proper sleep and not eating properly also. If you see this, then you have to think this is affecting you. So psychological symptoms, or these are the symptoms. Okay. Startle responses, like when somebody closes the door, you do this. When opens the door, or feel like startle for some few seconds, and you feel like there is something in my throat, or irritation, acidity. Children, if you're suffering from acidity, it is out of the fear that you're having, which is causing you the anxiousness, and that is causing you the acidity. So to work on the acidity, you have to take a lot of effort in food, sleep, control your mind, and work on your anxiety also. Acidity is the major cause. Okay. If your fathers are also suffering from acidity, if your mother is suffering from acidity, then it knows it is like they are stressed out and anxious. So how anxiety happens, causes. Like some people, if a father or mother has anxiety, the children will also have. In medical factors, like if you work with the chemical industries, anxiety will come. The brain chemistry, like suddenly if B12 goes down in your brain, I mean the hormones, dopamine, serotonin hormones. Dopamine and serotonin is a natural brain hormone which keeps what it keeps coming in the brain, but every day secreting in the brain. But uh, if you are depressed, if no one is appreciating, no one is recognizing you, then it will go down. Exercise improves dopamine and serotonin, which is a happy hormone. That is also in the tablet that people give takes for the mental health. So dopamine and serotonin comes through running, jumping, exercises. When you move your body, even when you dance, dopamine and serotonin comes up. So then sometimes drugs, when you withdraw from drugs and environment factors is like now pandemic and personality. Some personality traits will also trigger your anxiety. So now this is what you need to do. I get a lot of anxiety children for counseling. So when I went and researched, I saw something very interesting. I want to share you guys with. So they were very poor in academics. They had a lot of anxiety and stress issues. They came to me for counseling. I'm not talking about one or two children, maybe some 5 to 10 children you can keep. Then I asked them, what do you eat? So I found in a typical thing in them, they eat this noodles. I don't want to comment about a particular name of the noodle, but they were eating that noodles twice or thrice a week, which really bothered them a lot. Then I asked them to stop that noodles. Immediately they start, the memory got a better. They're able to better focus. So you have to understand. Your parents might keep telling, don't eat junk food, don't eat junk food, but you really don't know what it does to your brain. So a lot of junk foods will create anxiety. So you have to keep a watch on what you're eating. Okay. And disaster, like any disaster, if you see an accident in your school or class or something happen to you, then that will, maybe it will trigger anxiety after years. You don't know now what is happening. You will be okay for 1 year. After 1 year you will start feeling a lot of physical symptoms. You will feel depressed, you will feel irritated, worried, you will feel a lot of fear in you. Then that might be the cause. So usually when we treat people, we ask them what happened 3 years before. So in the 3 5 years of span, what has affected will cause anxiety later also. Okay. And to parents, if some parents are listening to me, I would want to please acknowledge this here. If a child doesn't get proper love from the mother, especially during the like 0 to 15 or like that age, okay, not even 15, I would say even 2018, that time, like the mother love is more important. If the mother love is not there, missing, if mother is suffering from some health issues, not able to take care of the child, if the mother has some mental issues, then the child suffers a lot in anxiety in the future. So the child doesn't want anybody's approval and recognition except the mother. The mother keeps giving constant support and love no matter what, then you can take care of your child and protect your child always, because it's all goes up to only to the mother. At least if not the mother, at least a parent, a father, I would say. So yeah, so moving on, the panic attacks. The panic attacks are like severe anxiety leads to panic attacks. It looks like heart attack. You feel like something happened in the chest, or rapid breathing. Your hands become cold, feet become cold and wet. You start sweating. So these are the anxiety attacks, which we call panic attacks. You want to rush to the hospital. You keep checking yourself again and again. What is happening to me? Fearing that something has happened to me. So that's an attack. Phobias, fear of lizards, fear of water. Some people have fear of water, they don't even bath. Some people have fear of medicines. All claustrophobia is in a fear in the closed room. Aerophobia, somebody don't want to go in a flight. So these are various phobias. Also leads to that after the stress and anxiety, it turns to be a phobia. And post-traumatic stress disorder is what I want to enlighten the with. Now you all may, some of us, even me, I might look calm now, normal now. After 1 year, this pandemic might trigger a stress disorder in me. Okay, so we have also found out and survey that this might trigger, because see, suddenly we're all going to school, you don't know what happened, you are locked in a room. Now things are going okay, now we are asking to come to school again, something will happen. So the continuous uncertainties and threat will come as a post trauma disorder in the future. Not to everyone. With the proper support system you can manage it. Okay. And suppose if a death happened in a family, if the child likes the person who they lost very much, then after 1 year or 2 year, then it might also become a stress. Okay, obsessive compulsive disorder is nothing but you keep washing your hands, keep washing, keep thinking that place is not clean, keep doing the same thing again and again, and one dress has to be kept in that place only. If it little change, you get aggressive. So these are various kinds of obsessiveness that you have to take control of, or take the treatments or related protection at that age. Otherwise, you'll get bad over the years. Okay, now we will see on, can you all, are you all with me? Say yes, it's 8 o'clock. Are you all with me? Say yes. I'm going to almost finish with the self routines and then I'll take questions. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Now, what I'm going to say is what you're seeing is like little bit of anxieties. Now, I do a separate session for teenagers on how to face your board exams, how to address your worries in the board exam hall, how to not to be feeling good at the panic. I mean, not get that panic moment. Sometimes you children say, I go blank in the exam hall. I don't know why. So those kind of things, how you can manage. So that's a complete 3 hour session I do, which is called Overcome Your Stress and Anxiety in the Exams. So that's a different session which talks about only your academics, exam preparation, physical preparation, mental preparation, avoiding silly mistakes, managing your time in the exam hall, and what to do if you forget something, and then how to pick it up and go ahead without wasting a minute. So those are the things as a different 3 hour session I do. So this session, I'm giving you just insights on understanding how anxiety comes in your body, bringing you the awareness, how stress acts in your body. So this is what I want you to, and so how we are going to see some self routine techniques to manage your anxiety. Okay, you can try all this, what I'm going to teach the next slide. So first, delegate your work. Like if you're parents, then tell this, do ask the children to do certain work. If you're stressed out, if you're working man or woman, then delegate certain work. At the same time, children, if you're stressed, priorities. Today, what is important? I will complete this. Tomorrow, what is important? I will complete this. Don't keep postponing the work, and the last minute overwhelmingness will give you a lot of anxiety and stress. And loneliness. So, if you feel anxious, start talking with your friends, talk to friends, talk to people. Okay. And relaxation exercises, it's called progressive muscle relaxation. Like you can go and see on the Google. I know all children here are all very Google experts. So see what is progressive muscle relaxation. It's tightening all your body and releasing, tightening and releasing, and that will help you to relax mentally, physically. Meditation, deep breathing, so all you can try. And sleep. If you sleep properly, your stress and anxiety will come down. Okay, this is progressive muscle relaxation. You can go see a video on the internet, learn this and practice this. Okay, this is very good to manage your stress and anxiety. And media exposure, reduce mobiles, reduce internet. So you can ask me how that. No, when they show you something content which is going to disturb your mind, before the bedtime, if you especially see some fights or some accidents or some bad things, some movies even, or some series which you're watching on Netflix, if it is lot of disturbing contents, unnecessarily you're going to fall to anxiety. And coming out of an anxiety is very difficult, very very difficult. So you should be taking care of yourself nicely, because it's your body. You have to respect your body. The body is helping you to achieve your goals, so you have to take care of the body and not throw nonsense to it by watching some nonsense, the TVs or news 24 by 7, watching news. You watch cricket, that's very good, but not news or not negatives. Or and gaming, this especially this video games, like what do you like, PUBG, you kill him, you why you are playing games? Because you don't have any excitement in life, you don't have any challenge in life. So if you want that challenge, that happiness, to put yourself a goal, then work towards the challenge, you will feel wonderful. Since you don't have any challenge, then you're going and showing all your emotions through your mobile, through your games, I would say. Okay, self-assurance talk is whenever you feel, when you see your mirror, when you're not able to accept yourself because of your role identity or the team changes that you're undergoing, say to yourself, I'm the best, I'm awesome, I look good, I'm safe. No, I am successful in my exams. I scored 90% in my boards, 100%, whatever you want. Stand in front of the mirror and talk to yourself positively. Okay, so caffeine, Coca-Cola, all those things, you know, right? You have to avoid. It will increase. You feel like you're good when you drink it, but after some time it increases all your anxiety. And also manage the chronic worry and stress. Okay, so exercise, as I said, take a note and keep writing this all the ways. Exercise really helps. At this age, if you exercise, you don't need to bother about your stress and anxiety at all every day. If exercise is your part of your routine, you don't need to worry. It will take care of everything at this point of time. Unless if you don't go through a stressful trauma in your life, normal anxieties will be taken care of. So another way of overcoming your stress and anxiety, write it all in a paper, all your fears, all your worries, and burn it. Okay. So, how many of you are going to think of burning your fears? That's a wonderful technique. I love it. I do it. How many of you are planning to do? Writing all your worries and fears and burn it. Yes? How many of you are going to planning to do? Burn, write in a paper, burn it. Yes, Rima. Okay, done. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm moving on to the next. You have to watch your food intake. Like these are some of the foods, you know, people would have told you, your parents would have told you many times, but cannot go near fire. Okay, fine, you don't need to fire. Tear it and flush it. Okay, don't keep the paper, just tear and flush, that's enough. If you're small, tear it and flush it. All you I'm saying is you have to write it down, take it from your brain, put it on the paper, dispose it. Okay. Okay, so these are some of the foods which you can eat for your stress, which will calm you down. Okay, and any doubt? Curcumin is raw turmeric. Okay, raw turmeric plants. Raw turmeric. Okay, the green turmeric, like which you get before it gets dried. Kefir is like a curd. So other things you know well. Medications, you can go for psychological treatments if it starts affecting you severely, that you're not able to proceed with your day-to-day activities. That's where you need to go for medications. And you have to seek medical counselors if you get this, the symptoms you saw, no, the pain you saw, no, and if you feel, if you don't get sleep, if you don't sleep well, if you don't eat well, then that's where you need to seek a medical, I mean, counselor or psychologist or psychologist, you know. So they will decide whether you need medication if you need, but you don't need medication as children. It is over. If you work on the problem, you can easily work on your anxieties. Okay, so vitamins and zinc you can take. Alternative treatments, so like ayurvedic, like students, I know you're not taking oil bath nowadays. Take proper full head massage and oil bath once a week. That will really help you to calm down, because anxieties comes up when the pitta is like vata. Pitta is a body imbalance of heat, cold, and the gas, which is what the body, each body is composed of. So if you don't, nowadays we don't have the habit of taking oil massages. So you put oil in your head, nicely massage, full body oil. Put whatever oil you can choose, gingerly oil and some other oil are really good, which will calm you down. Come after bath, ask your mother to cook a proper staple home food, whatever your food is. Okay, have that. That's fine. Don't eat junk on that day at least, because that's a body detox you need to do. The more, see, the body and mind is connected. When you do the body detox, the mind also relaxes. When you do the mind relaxation, the body also relaxes. Okay, some therapies you can go for, like I teach this EFT, CBT I do, like past life, inner child healing I do, past life regression you have to go to an expert. So these are the therapies also you can consider if it's too much on your bothering you. Now these are the daily practices you can do to manage your stress and anxieties. So take a note and write out your worries. Gratitude, say thank you to people that you are all alive today. You have hands, you have legs. There are students, people, those who doesn't have, there are students, those who doesn't have food for a day. There are children on the roads who are trembling from cold. We are still at home, we still feel cold, like especially in the cold climate. So to say thanks to the God for giving you wonderful parents, a wonderful support system. Sleep well. Don't charge your phone while you sleep because that affects your brain badly. During the night, if you charge, it's going to affect your brain badly. If you want to charge, put charge in a separate room and switch off your Wi-Fi at the night. That's more important. Switch off your Wi-Fi completely and draw some coloring, mandala, practice art, some art, any form of art if you want. Positive self talks, standing in front of the mirror, praise yourself. Praise yourself. I am, I am the best. I am an awesome person. Your parent might say you're a fool, you're an idiot. Don't bother. You just keep saying, I am awesome. I am wonderful. I'm the best person in the world. I will rock. Keep saying this to yourself. And do the breathing exercise. 4 4 4 is 4 inhalation, 4 pause, and 4 release. So these are all the ways you can manage. Yoga Nidra is very deep technique and you don't need to. So supplements, take vitamin D now, vitamin B12 now, that's more important. Avoid a lot of TV and games and goal setting. So your self-esteem increases if you set goals. So work on your goals and seek mental health experts if you need and connect with people. And thank you so much for listening to me. Now I'm ready to take questions. Anything? Yes, anything? Any questions? You can unmute and ask. Another next 10 minutes, I'll take questions. Any questions, please? Hope you all like the session. You got some idea. Yes, if you like, say I like. Give me thumbs up. Give me yes, please. If you don't like, it's okay. I know I am the best at my sessions. I know it. I don't. But if you like it, say I like. I loved it. A lot of takeaways I had. You can say anything to me. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. So, any doubt, any questions, you can unmute and ask. Please. Thank you so much. Any questions? Yeah. It's mine. Any questions from participants or any questions from you?
No, ma'am. I think it was very informative and you only explained everything nicely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rima. Thank you so much. So, anything you want, you can connect with me. I do one-on-one session. I do group coaching sessions for students. If these children, those who have participated today in the WhatsApp group, if you alone want exam stress and preparatory sessions, I can conduct for only you children, but that might be a chargeable one. And parenting sessions, 21-day teen program sessions. I'll share the posters in the group later. So those who want, those who wish can continue. I think if everyone is okay, we can stop. We can finish the session. Yes, Samyan? Smile, can we close? I think no questions.
Yes, ma'am. I don't think there are any questions. Yeah. Ma'am, but can we just summarize the whole thing with some key takeaways?
So what I would say is to summarize is first, be aware of this, what is happening in your body. And the next one is 1 day stress, 2 day stress, 1 day anxiety, 2 day anxiety is okay. If it is going to be continuous, then you need to seek whatever needs to be done. The next one is whatever happens to you, whoever even if you're nobody supports, what you speak to you matters a lot inside. What you speak to yourself, When you score, don't even score good marks. When you're not feeling I'm not enough, whenever you get that feeling I'm not enough, keep saying I'm enough, I am the best, I am enough, I am good, I will improve, I am progressing. So those kind of self motivating words is more enough to overcome the depression. And anxiety is nothing but the self critical words that you're using to yourself. Especially a lot of teens, I do have a teen at my home, so the teen uh, have a nature of self harming and self criticizing. That's a very normal teen behavior. You don't need to bother that I am doing so much to myself. It's pretty normal that a teen does to her or himself, that self hatredness or self critic, a lot of self critic. Work on that self critic and work on your goals. Okay, work on your goals. And if you feel there is a lot of memory and concentration issues and focus, then you need to figure out the ways. Like I would say, if you feel really difficult to memorize something, record your answers on your phone and then listen to it. Or prepare some small smart notes and then put it on the room. Make a learning easy way. Okay, watch video mode of learning, so you can adapt to different types of learning. Get a proper tuition teacher or a mentor if you feel you're not good at certain subjects. So academic pressure, you don't need to bother, you don't need to uh, work on the taboo that if you get good marks you're a good child. That taboo, let it go off, it's not that. Okay, but put your effort, give your best. Everyday studies, everyday discipline is more important beyond scoring mark. Every day, regularly prepare yourself. Like self regulation and self control is more important. How you control yourself. And then if you have a lot of irritation and frustration, then practice some of the techniques I told, like writing in a paper, throwing it off, do some, meet your friends, talk to them. So the self management techniques will only help, because we cannot say that we should not get stress, we all will get, but how you manage matters, that's all. Okay, so finally that's what I want to say. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, bye.